start.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I transformed this dining room table and chairs that we found off of Facebook Marketplace. Now, I hadn't showed anything like this on my channel before, so I thought it was the perfect opportunity to go ahead and show you how I transformed this piece and also to hopefully inspire some of you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is what the set looks like. Overall, its condition is pretty fair. There's no major repairs that needed to be made, so making this flip a little bit easier and smoother. As you guys are used to seeing me do, the first step to any makeover is to clean everything really well. I'm using a TSP solution here, making sure to wipe rinse with plain water after the first wipe through to make sure that and not leave any cleaner on the furniture. I think this is the worst one yet, guys. It's pretty gross. Now that we're completely done with cleaning everything, I'm going to go ahead and scuff sand the chairs. I'm using 120 grit sandpaper. I'm just using, you guys know I always use my sanding discs for my orbital sander if I'm not using the actual sander itself, just to get into these grooves and stuff. Color that I've used on my channel before multiple times, and you're probably guessing just by looking at it, it's Tricorn Black by Valspar. This is a commission piece, and I feel like this is the perfect color for what she's trying to achieve. So that is why I'm reusing the same color. Oh Lord, so much for filtering the paint, huh? It's too heavy. Right now I am literally just putting my paint through a filter just to make sure, since I've opened this can quite a few times now, I want to make sure that I don't have any clumps that are going to get stuck in my sprayer and give me any trouble. And then after I'm done straining it, I'm going to thin it out. The paint that I'm using on these chairs is an all-in-one paint, so I did not feel the need to have to prime. Okay guys, so now that we are done with the chairs as far as the second coat goes, we still have to top coat them. I'm gonna wait to do that until I'm done with the actual table. What we're gonna do now is we're actually gonna strip it. Now you could go in here and just sand using a higher grit and then working your way towards a lower grit to smooth it out. But I'm going to try to avoid that because this has a veneer on it, and I want to risk ruining the veneer by accidentally blowing through it with the higher grit. So instead I'm going to strip it to kind of start with a 120 hopefully, and hopefully that'll be enough to be able to get whatever is left over that the stripper's not able to remove. So I am going to be using this premium stripper. I'm going to have to obviously wear my respirator because the fumes on this is pretty strong, and you obviously want to be as safe as possible. I'm going to go ahead and put gloves on and then apply the stripper. I ran out of chip brushes and I didn't realize that I ran out of chip brushes. I didn't want to run to the store, so I'm going to try and spread it with this. If I can't spread it with this, then I'm going to use one of my very old brushes that I don't mind having to throw away after using for the stripper. So if push comes to shove and this doesn't really spread it really well for me, then I'll go ahead and use that. But first, for now, let's go ahead and put the respirator on, we'll put the gloves on, and we'll get started with the stripping. And note to self, when stripping, always clean with some mineral spirits after you're done with the second coat. I don't clean between coats because I'm just going to apply more stripper. So depending on whether or not I need to do two coats or not, I'll show you guys the process.
I want to take a moment to give a shout out to today's sponsor and a good friend of mine, Brian. Him and his best friend, Christina, have a successful up-and-coming podcast called What the Did I Just Watch?, where they force each other to watch movies the other has never seen regardless of their objections. In a sea of movie podcasts that exist, they stand out with their relationship with one another and just overall realness when it comes to watching these movies for the first time. Be sure to check them out on all podcast platforms. I will have the links in the description for you. Using some fine steel wool and mineral spirits, I scrub everything to remove any residue and prepare for sanding. To sand, I used an 80 grit to remove any leftover stain and followed it with 120 and 220. For something like the legs that are not a flat surface and have a lot of curvature, you want to be extra careful of not applying too much pressure to the sander to avoid altering the shape of the wood. There were several spots where the veneer was pulling up and I needed to reattach it, and also some places where the veneer was actually missing. If you've been to my channel before, then you have heard me mention Starbond adhesives. Their CA glue is perfect to repair issues like this. To reattach the lifting veneer, I applied a thin layer of the medium clear CA glue followed by the activating spray to help speed the drying process up. Unlike wood glue, I won't have to wait around for hours for it to dry. Instead, it should dry within 30 seconds or less. For the spots where I was missing the veneer, I added the brown colored medium thick CA glue followed by the activator. The same exact process. The color will help to blend for when I go to stain. Once I was done, I lightly sanded to even everything out and I was ready to start staining. The best part was not having to wait around for wood filler or wood glue to dry. If you use code Glenda10 at checkout, you will receive 10% off of your order. The link will be in the description for you. To ensure an even stain, I applied pre-stain conditioner and stained the table and legs in the color Special Walnut by Varathane. As I waited for my stain to dry, I cleaned up the metal kick plates using some simple green. I did not spray paint or polish them because I wanted to keep the worn look. I sealed the table with 2 coats of Varathane water-based polyurethane. Let's take a moment to remember what this dining set used to look like and what it looks like now. Thank you so much for watching and seeing the process of this transformation. Remember, this is a commission piece for one of my relatives, so I will not be disclosing how much I profited. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button before you leave and turn on your post notification bells so that you get alerted every time I upload a new video. Also, if you like videos like this, I have a full playlist down in the description of all the furniture makeovers on my channel. You guys stay safe, be kind, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye. Say bye.